right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Tonight, an insurance impasse grows.
That started a months-long nightmare.
The fight between Mercy and Anthem putting patient care on the line.
Warmer weekend. Why the warmer temperatures may bring you a few uninvited guests as we head into the next few days.
Our top story caught on camera and caught in the crossfire.
It's a woman and her child running.
That's just shocking, just horrifying.
The mid-morning gunfight in Midtown putting innocent bystanders in harm's way. Tonight, police asking for your help identifying those brazen shooting suspects. Good evening. I'm Mike Bush. Kelly Jackson has the night off. The gunfire rang out Monday morning outside a BP gas station on South Grand, just steps from SSM Health Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. 5 on Your Side's Robert Townsend is live outside police headquarters with more on the wild crime caught on camera.
Mike, well, I can tell you this. Fortunately, nobody was hurt, but employees and customers were caught in the middle of that gas station shooting.
You got a big gun.
A manager at this South St. Louis gas station is still in awe when he looks at this chilling and clear video.
We got to the point, really, it's just, we got to deal with it. And it seems like it's kind of normal now.
He says shortly after 9 Monday morning, 2 young men pulled up to the BP gas station near South Grand and parked in a red car. A man wearing a green and white hooded sweatshirt first walked inside. The driver, who wore a red sweatshirt and black cap, then went inside the business. Both had guns partially tucked in their waistbands. And people are in the store, customers.
Yeah, I think she really got terrified by him coming with that gun when she turned around and saw that.
The manager says the young guy in the green then walked outside and repeatedly fired at 4 other men who pulled up to a pump on the opposite side in a silver 4-door Mercedes.
That's a big gun, too.
Witnesses say at least 3 of the 4 men in the Mercedes were also armed with guns.
They never fired.
While police say the man got into a shootout, the gas station's manager says this man was the only one who fired shots. When the rapid gunfire rang out, one customer dove to the floor. Scared employees quickly got down and hid behind a counter.
A woman and her child running. They ducked behind the car.
That as more than a dozen bullets battered the business.
The window got shot, and then the front door got shot, and they started shooting from the outside. Thanks God, nobody got hurt, especially not just employees, even the customers too.
That's just shocking, just horrifying. Man, we got to get it together. We got to do better than this as a community.
Now, anyone with any information can call Crime Stoppers. That number is 866-371-TIPS. Remember, you can remain anonymous and possibly receive a reward. We're live downtown. I'm Robert Townsend, 5 on Your Side.
Tonight, we're learning a man is dead, a woman in critical condition after a double shooting near Lafayette Square. This happened on Rutgers Street off Jefferson Avenue. Police are investigating what led up to the shooting, but so far no arrests have been made. New tonight, a woman arrested in a deadly multi-state crime spree with her boyfriend pleaded guilty in St. Louis County Court today. Back in 2021, Adrian Simpson and Tyler Terry shot and killed Barbara Goodkin in U City and Dr. Sergei Zakharev near Brentwood. They also committed 3 more murders in Tennessee and South Carolina before being caught. Simpson pled guilty to 14 crimes, including first-degree murder. Terry admitted guilt to the same charges back in July. Both are already serving life sentences for those out-of-state crimes. Right now, police are looking for the driver of the car who hit a man in a wheelchair in Soulard. Police say the victim suffered non-life-threatening injuries. He shared this video on Twitter showing a black Chevrolet Impala slowly turning and hitting him while he was walking his dog. The impact knocked him out of his chair. The animal was not hurt. The car just drove away. The victim says it did not have license plates. Tonight, a contract dispute continues to put many St. Louisans' health care in limbo. If a deal isn't made by January 1st, Mercy doctors will be out of network for patients of Anthem. 5 on Your Side's Laura Barczewski talked with a St. Louis mom who says problems between Mercy and Anthem have been going on for years. Laura?
They have, Mike. Laura Rakeshaw says she saw firsthand the problems Mercy has had with reimbursements from Anthem after she gave birth to her youngest child in 2018, and she almost got stuck with the bill.
Our youngest child was born at Mercy Hospital St. Louis in the spring of 2018, and he spent the first 2 weeks of his life in the NICU there.
It was a difficult time for Laura Rakestraw and her family. She has Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance, and they initially paid for the first 30 days of her son Aiden's care. But then Anthem took that money back, leading to a lengthy dispute. Eventually, Anthem agreed to pay most of it.
But we were still disputing the first few days of our son's life, and the total dollar amount was around $70,000 at that point.
This was still going on in September of 2019 when Aiden had to have open heart surgery at Cardinal Glennon, and Anthem underpaid.
So the amount they paid was like $6,000 to $7,000 less than what it actually cost Cardinal Glennon to perform his surgery.
Luckily, the Rakestraws never got stuck with those bills, but the hospitals did. Because of what she went through, she wasn't surprised to hear about the dispute between Mercy and Anthem and wants to see them reach an agreement.
But I think it's also fair for Mercy to say we need to get paid, and we should be getting paid a fair rate.
Mercy says the cost of providing care has gone up due to inflation, and Anthem has not kept up with it. Mercy doctors say issues with Anthem are affecting their patients in several ways.
I have patients who come to me that have Anthem insurance and have delays in their care because of denials or because of requirements for prior authorizations. I've witnessed firsthand the anxiety that produces delaying their care or potentially worrying about increased financial burden.
But Anthem says Mercy wants to increase prices they charge their members and employers by 5 times the current inflation rate, saying, quote, Anthem has offered reasonable payment increases in excess of the consumer price index for each of the next 2 years, and we continue working hard to reach an agreement. Mercy says they have hundreds of thousands of patients in their care, including their employees with Anthem insurance, and for right now, nothing has changed. Both Mercy and Anthem have information pages up about this issue. We'll have those links on KSDK.com.
A Metro East restaurant linked to multiple cases of severe food poisoning is reopening. St. Clair County health inspectors gave the Fairview Heights LongHorn Steakhouse the okay to reopen. The health department says 26 people tested positive for Shigella after eating there. The restaurant hired an environmental cleaning service, but it's not clear yet when it will reopen. Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey is joining a lawsuit aiming to restrict access to an abortion drug. The suit would reverse a previous decision to allow mifepristone to be mailed to pregnant women. The new filing would also make it illegal for minors to receive the drug entirely. The U.S. Supreme Court recently considered a similar case, but it was denied because it lacked the standing to challenge the FDA. SLU Health Law Professor Dr. Kelly Gillespie gave us some insight on what's different this time around.
This time, instead of private doctors or private associations, now you have states, 3 states saying, well, we have standing because the actions of the federal government and the Food and Drug Administration, right, are causing us as a state harm.
Although the case was brought by 3 specific states, a decision would impact the entire country. Developing tonight, a telecommunications giant is bringing more workers back to downtown St. Louis. AT&T says it's reassigning employees from its Earth City complex back to the old Southwestern Bell building on Pine Street. That's located next to the now vacant 44-story skyscraper the company vacated in 2017. Company officials didn't say how many employees were moving. However, they did assure employees there weren't going to be layoffed. Right now, landmarks across St. Louis are shining purple, and it's all to recognize Domestic Violence Awareness Month. The lights on the wheel at Union Station, the Civil Courts Building, Enterprise Center, and many more have turned purple. There's also a domestic violence awareness rally and a walk planned for Saturday in the Grove. Tonight, we're getting a closer look at a citywide initiative to prevent crime before it strikes. The concept involves using former criminals to be the catalyst for change. As 5 on Your Side's Brent Solomon explains, due to remarkable results, St. Louis just extended its contract with the group called Show Me Peace.
To do this work, it takes passion.
The only way we're going to have a culture of peace is if we all play a role in that.
And a personal connection.
So when we go to step in, we're not coming in cold. We know somebody involved because we are all connected in some way, shape, form, or fashion.
That's the winning formula for Show Me Peace. The group of violence interrupters shows up to St. Louis's Walnut Park, Dutchtown, the Ville, and Wells Goodfellow neighborhoods 5 days a week, wearing green. They canvass the community late at night.
Often the conversations that we have come down to, man, your feelings was hurt, right? And emotionally, you only know to respond with violence because you think you're gonna meet extreme violence.
It leads to candid conversations.
Man, you really finna go kill somebody over somebody doing X, Y, Z? And then one of us could step in and say, man, like, listen, let's think through this. What's some other options we could take?
According to the city's Office of Violence Prevention, since Show Me Peace started hitting the streets early this year, homicides have dropped by 53% in the neighborhoods they target. This isn't for the weak. Adam Butler recalls taking a bullet at Fairground Park.
Somebody thought it'd be a smart idea to shoot a gun in order to disperse the crowd, which caused everybody to shoot from every direction. I was diving out the way when I got shot through my foot. Came on my big toe and crawled to the side. I had to wait for all the shells and the guns to stop before I could get up.
He survived and keeps coming back.
Well, see, I come from this. And the same way I gave my life to it when I was out here doing wrong, the same way I give my life to it doing right.
St. Louis is now extending the group's services through the summer of 2026.
The only way you impact community is not by coming to community, but by being community.
Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
The city of St. Louis is investing close to $3.1 million to keep Show Me Peace operating. The organization is currently recruiting more paid staffers. To apply, you can visit the story on KSDK.com.
An eye in the sky giving hunters a new edge.
Biggest game changer I've ever seen.
How drones are showing hunters the sky is the limit. Broken windows not breaking spirits.
This will not defeat us.
How a restaurant known for being savory and sweet won't let vandalism put them on ice.
The weather impact forecast doesn't have any rain for the weekend ahead. Why you should spend some time outside this weekend.
Developing tonight, Israeli military officials say they've killed the Hamas leader behind the October 7th terror attacks. Yahya Sinwar was found in the rubble of a building hit by an Israeli tank. DNA tests and dental records were used to confirm his identity. Sinwar has been Israel's #1 most wanted person since the attack. President Joe Biden called Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to praise Israel's defense forces and soldiers who carried out the operation. Officials say the two also talked about what needs to happen next to end the war.
Right now is the time to move on. Move toward a ceasefire in Gaza. Make sure that we move in the direction that we're going to be in a position to make things better for the whole world. It's time for this war to end and bring these hostages home.
Netanyahu says the war will not end until all of the Israeli hostages are freed. Deer season is now in full swing on both sides of the bi-state, and before Missouri hunters head to the stand, they need to be aware of a new law. New tonight, Holden Kerwicki shows us how it allows hunters to take to the sky after a successful hunt.
For hunters across the Show Me State, there's nothing better than a fall day in the deer stand.
I love being out all the time. You know, I don't need much excuse to get out. Hot, cold, doesn't matter.
There's just nothing like it. It's hard to explain to somebody who hasn't done it, but I mean the shakes, the chills, just a live animal coming in. There's nothing quite like it.
However, there can be a downside to buck fever.
You know, bad things do happen, and accidents do happen, and poor shot placement happens. And anyone who bow hunts and says they've never wounded one, they haven't bow hunted very much. You know, it's going to happen.
In the past, that meant trekking through the woods, trying to recover an animal.
Sometimes it's just, you walk right over them. It can be so thick, whether they're in tall grasses or in the timber.
Thanks to a new Missouri law, hunters like Jack Houston can use technology to recover their trophy by sending thermal drones into the sky after they've shot.
What's the farthest you found a deer away from where the person shot it?
A little over a mile.
With a 99% success rate recovering deer, the Mizzou grad student launched Missouri Drone Deer Recovery to help other hunters.
Yeah, I get the rush every time. I mean, there's nothing like seeing the deer on the screen and the hooting and hollering.
Once he finds it with the drone, if it is still alive, you can't pursue it for 24 hours, but you still know it's there. You know it's close.
Houston is also using the technology to do health assessments on the size of local deer herds to prevent overhunting.
When the drone shows it and says, well, that's a doe, that's a small buck, that's a big buck, you know. So to get your management right, biggest game changer I've ever seen.
The Illinois Department of Natural Resources has a different stance on the issue that may leave hunters feeling grounded, saying in a statement, not only is drone use for hunting unlawful in Illinois, it goes against the spirit of fair chase and widely accepted hunting ethics.
I still want to try to teach my son to track his own. I want to go through that process, but to have this as a backup, for me, unbelievable.
Reporting in Columbia, Missouri, Holden Kerwicki, 5 on your side.
For more information about Missouri drone deer recovery and the latest law changes impacting hunters, you can look for this story in the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com. A restaurant on Del Mar is back open days after being vandalized for the third time. Vandals broke multiple large windows at Beyond Sweet Kitchen and Bar over the weekend. Friends of the owner and neighboring businesses quickly came to help repair the damage. Now they're back up and running, even with boards in the window, hoping their customers will help them bounce back.
We're hoping for a whole lot of people to stop by and buy something. That's what we're hoping for. And even if they don't come today, because they may not be able to come today, but they do know what happened, maybe they'll make reservations for Saturday. Maybe they'll pack the house on Saturday.
Nothing was stolen from Beyond Sweet over the weekend. A local news legend received a prestigious honor tonight. 5 on Your Side news director Art Holliday accepted the Lifetime Achievement Award at tonight's Paragon Awards. The ceremony, held at the Third Degree Glass Factory on Del Mar, honors outstanding black men in St. Louis. Art's 45-year career here at 5 on Your Side has spanned roles from sports reporter to his current position in management. This honor adds to his numerous accolades, including Emmy Awards and Hall of Fame inductions, which highlights his significant impact on St. Louis journalism. Congratulations to our friend Art. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joined us now with the weather impact forecast, and he's talking about a warm-up.
Yeah, Art will like the warmer weather. I don't think Art likes the colder weather. I don't think a lot of people really like this colder weather. And you know what? Neither did the stink bugs. We're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. You're looking at it, Lambert, right now. The flights have been pretty much on schedule today. Not a whole lot of weather problems across most of the country. Yes, it was that full moon. This one just a tad closer to Earth than all the other full moons of the year. So, yes, the supermoon, but it is very bright out there. Alan shared that gorgeous photo from over around Breeze, Illinois. Yes, the coolest temperatures east and southeast of St. Louis. Cape Girardeau is already down to 40, 57 degrees in St. Louis. Kirksville's 45. It won't be as cold tonight as it was the last couple of mornings, but there will still be spots away from town that are certainly down into the 30s. Skies are still clear. The breeze still fairly light, but we have a breeze out of the south-southeast tonight at about 8 miles per hour. 67 was where we were this afternoon for the high. Our low officially was 38 degrees this morning. So Lambert did not drop below freezing, but most of us have over the course of the last 48 hours. And tonight, most of us stay just above freezing. There could be a little bit of frost off to the east of St. Louis. Tomorrow morning should look like this morning. A beautiful sunrise, chilly, lower 40s out the door. Very little in the way of cloud cover to track across the region going through tomorrow. Temperatures by lunchtime will jump back through the 60s, around 70 or so tomorrow afternoon. And by the time the kids get out on the football field, temperatures are dropping back into the 50s again tomorrow night. It'll actually feel a little more like football weather in St. Louis. There's not a lot happening across the bi-state region. We don't expect a whole lot to happen either. This system out to the west, it's a slow mover towards us, which brings about the stink bugs. Yeah, it's going to warm up this weekend, and as it warms up, those stink bugs will be working their way and trying to get into your house. So watch out for those. They don't bite. They're not really harmful or anything, but if you squish them, they do stink. 75 degrees for the high on Saturday with plenty of sunshine. Heading over to Mizzou Saturday, it's 11 o'clock kickoff, 67 degrees at kickoff there. Heading up to Champaign, 2:30 kickoff, Michigan in town, and we'll be looking at temperatures in the 70s area-wide for both Saturday and Sunday. And by Monday into Tuesday, getting close to 80 degrees. The next chance for rain, and that's all it is, a chance, comes about Monday night into Tuesday. And it's not a very big chance for a lot of rain. Maybe we get a shower, that would be about it. And then it cools off a little bit towards the end of next week, but no big, huge rain that we have to see and deal with, although we could use it. It's awfully dry.
All right, Scott, thanks. Corey is next with sports.
Well, we had finishes on the ice at Enterprise Center and on the diamond in Cleveland you absolutely have to see, and a high school coach getting ready to wrap up nearly a half century on the sideline. Sports is up after the break.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
The Blues' first impression at Enterprise Center this season was forgettable. They gave up a goal to the opposing goaltender and lost the home opener 4-1. Tonight they tried to get back in the win column with the New York Islanders in town. The Joseph brothers took the ice together in St. Louis for the first time tonight. Mom and Dad were in the house to watch. Joel Hofer was awesome in this game, sprawling saves all game long. That helped lead to a scoreless game at the end of 60 minutes. In overtime, Hofer kept flashing the leather to keep the Islanders off the board, and he also flashed the stick work. Hofer off the boards to Philip Broberg, to Jake Neighbors, and that's all she wrote, folks. Blues win 1-0 in overtime, and Broberg has a 5-game point streak to begin his Blues career.
Just a great read by Hof. He's so good at playing the puck, and obviously saw we had numbers up the ice, and made a great play to Broby. I just tried to drive through that D-man. I think Sauter was off my backside there, and Broby made a great read, laid one in there for me.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
On Saturday, St. Louis City SC will play its last game of the season. Today, the club made sure one of their most adored players will be back for 2025. The team announced a contract extension for defender Josh Yarrow that covers next season and has an option for 2026. Yarrow has become a fan favorite around town for his commitment to the community and is also a key voice in the locker room.
I personally don't think that we would be in the same position if he wasn't a guy that I could lean into hard and, say, hey, help me out, help me get this guy, help me get this group of guys, help me get the whole group in the boat.
More exciting soccer news today. City Park will host the Big Ten Women's Soccer Tournament in November. The semifinals and finals will be played on the 7th and 10th, respectively. This is the first time our town has ever hosted a Big Ten Conference event. We have a great 5 on Your Sideline on the way tomorrow night. We will have the best high school football highlights from all over the area and a story about a coach in the middle of one last ride. Coach Dale Gildahouse has been at St. Francis Borgia for 38 years. He's won 300 games, a state championship, and seen likely close to 1,000 kids come through his program. In his final season, the Knights are off to a 7-0 start. It's a career that has touched countless lives from multiple generations.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to have all these kids that played for me back in the '87 when I started here, and now I'm coaching their sons.
My dad was there for his first win, and then I was there for his 300th, so that was cool.
What am I going to do next year? I don't know, but my wife wants to go somewhere, so we're going to go.
Listen to the wife. Highlights from a game tonight. Seckman made the trip into town to take on Hazelwood West. Long touchdown from West here. Jabari Lofton airs it out. Tavian Robinson taking it all the way for 6. The Seckman Jaguars are undefeated for a reason, though. Brody Kuby to number 99, Landon Meyer for a touchdown. We love a big man score. Seckman wins 41-7. Hey, check out these cool uniforms. Illinois football will be rocking Saturday against number 24 Michigan. They celebrate the legendary Red Grange and the 100th anniversary of Memorial Stadium in Champaign. And it's a stadium Coach Bielema hopes to have fired up.
We haven't lost a game out there this year, right? That place should be rocking, right? That place should be going crazy, right? To have 2 ranked teams, that's what I want to hear, right? And they've been great. Student section, after the game, whenever you see the last play and the camera vibrates, that means some good shit's happening in the stadium. When we go to Michigan, we have to prepare for crowd noise there. I would really like for someone to have to prepare for crowd noise coming here.
Insane game in the ALCS tonight. Cleveland up 3-1 in the 8th. Aaron Judge, 2-run homer. We're tied. Next batter, Giancarlo Stanton goes deep. Yankees lead. 2 outs in the 9th. Yanks up 5-3. Joneski Noel takes Luke Weather out to tie the game in Cleveland. Then in extras, David Fry is going to end it with a 2-run homer for the Guardians. Cleveland was an out away from going down 3-0 in the series, but now they have life, down just 2-1. You'll have a good postseason moment.
You do. All right, Corey, thanks. A Thanksgiving dinner in one bite. The holiday meal that can be on the table in less than 20 minutes. St. Louis homes are going fast. Zillow housing data ranks the St. Louis metropolitan area as the fastest selling housing market in the country. Research shows homes here are bought within a week of posting. Following St. Louis is Cincinnati and Columbus, Ohio. It's not delivery, it's Thanksgiving dinner. DiGiorno's Thanksgiving pizza is topped with roasted turkey, gravy, green beans, and cranberries. It was only available online last year. This year, it's being sold at Kroger-owned stores, which includes Ruler Foods in St. Louis. No, thank you. That does not sound good to me at all.
It's the cranberries that did it, not the gravy.
There you have it, 5 on your side at 10. We're always streaming on 5+. Don't forget to start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. And have a great tomorrow.